Hey guys, so this video is specifically for anybody that I sent foundation samples to. I'm just going to show you the different ways that you can apply our foundation and the things that are going to work best with our foundation. So I know it's a little bit different because it's a wax-based foundation. That's awesome though. It's going to feel way more lightweight than the majority of foundations, and it's not going to look super cakey throughout the day. It's not going to feel cakey throughout the day. It's non-comedogenic, so that means it's going to sit on top of your skin instead of sinking into your skin and clogging your pores. Sorry. And then also, it's 50% pigment, which is pretty much, not pretty much, it is the highest pigment that you're going to find. It also isn't going to oxidize throughout the day, so with a lot of foundations, you will notice that throughout the day, they get like an orange tint through them, and that's when your makeup oxidizes. It's going to get orange and change pigmentation throughout the day. Ours is not going to do that, so the color that it is when you put it on is the color it's going to stay. So right now, I'm just going to show you some of the best little ways to apply it and everything. And also remember, as far as like color matching, if I sent you the wrong color, that's totally okay. Just tell me like why it's off, you know, if you need one that's a little bit darker, a little bit lighter, if it's too pink on you, and we can get it figured out super easy. Another thing to remember is to color match your neck, not necessarily your face, because a lot of people have a lot more redness and stuff in their face than they're going to have in their chest. So you always want to try to color match your chest and your neck, not your face. Okay, so if you're going, like, I always use a primer. I suggest using a primer, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have a primer. But if you are going to use a primer with our foundation, make sure that it is silicone free. A lot of primers are now. Obviously ours is, but it's better to use no primer with our foundation than it is to use one that has silicone in it. So that's just a little tip. And then I'm going to show you a few different ways to apply this. I know it's kind of like annoying that it comes in this little thing. That's just what the samples come in. But if you buy a full-size one, it'll be this size right here. And then these are concealers. But this is going to be the size of the foundation. So it makes it a lot easier to apply than in this. So I'm going to go in first with just a concealer brush. You can honestly use your finger if you want, if you don't have a concealer brush, but I'm just going to get a little bit and kind of, I'm going to try to do like just different little sections of my face so that we can show you guys like different ways to apply it, but just take a little bit and kind of dab it on there. You guys, you're really not going to want to use too much of our foundation because a little bit goes a long ways. Oops. Okay, so this is probably my like go-to method to apply it, but like I said, there's quite a few different ways. So I would normally just dip my beauty blender straight into this, but obviously it's kind of hard to dig it out of that with a beauty blender. So I'm just going to go in and do little twists, pushing it into your skin. And this, I always get this damp first, you guys, if this is what you're going to do. Getting it damp is just going to make it a lot softer, and it'll make it like apply smoother. Okay, so that is one method, probably my favorite method. You're going to get a really, really lightweight coverage with that. Another option is to use a brush like this. This is called, ours is called a buffer brush. I think that's what it's called pretty much across the board. You can buy cheaper ones at like drugstores and whatnot, but I really do love ours, and we just got a new one that's even bigger than this, and it's pretty stinking awesome. It's called a diffuser brush, So anything like that is going to be good to apply as well. And this one, you're going to apply it and just go in little circles. And you guys can see how much coverage you get just from our foundation. Like, honestly, my skin, I have some scarring along my jawline. And so if I used a different foundation, I honestly would probably need to use concealer as well. But with ours, I feel like I get enough coverage just with the foundation. Okay, so if you're going to use a brush, one like this is definitely a good option. But I am going to show you, I'm probably going to do this on the back of my hand, I think, actually, just because we're going to run out of space. So I'm going to take just a fluffy blush brush, and this one, one of my corporate leg, actually, she really likes doing it this way because she said it's the easiest way to not get too much foundation. You know what, I'm actually just going to do this one on my forehead. Because a lot of people that aren't happy with the foundation are using too much. So this is actually a really easy way to apply it as well. And like I said, it's going to make it so that you're not getting too much foundation and putting it on too heavy. Okay, so that's 3 different ways to apply our foundation. And then also, you guys, for most people, I sent you a sample of Due Date with our foundation, and I'm going to show you why. If you tend to have dry skin especially, you're going to want this. So you can either go in, like, just put a drop on your finger, and, like, for instance, my forehead gets dry, so you can totally just go in and put it on top of your foundation, and that's going to be fine. It'll give you a dewy finish, but it'll also just make your foundation really hydrating so that you're not going to get flaky throughout the day. The other thing you can do is I suggest, like, if you have like a buffer brush like this, I just take 1 drop, put it into my brush, dip it in, and then you can do it like that as well. And this, if you like using more like a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer, this option is going to be good for you because you will get that extra hydration and it'll give you a dewy finish and just keep you from being flaky throughout the day. The other thing is, you guys, if you don't already moisturize before you put on foundation, you definitely should. Like, I would say like 10 to 15 minutes before you put your foundation on, put on a moisturizer beforehand, and that'll help your foundation look better as well. The last 2 things I'm going to show you guys is our setting sprays. We have 2 different ones, and they're both going to be a spray, and we now have 2 different sizes too. So this one, I honestly really like the smaller size because if you travel very often, not that I do, but if you travel very often, this one cannot be checked into a carry-on because it's too big, but this guy is 2 ounces, so you can take this one with you. Anyway, so the 2 different setting sprays, this one, if you have oily skin, this is called Oil Strike. It's going to make your makeup matte. It's going to last up to 16 hours, and it'll keep your skin from looking oily and greasy throughout the day. So if you have oily skin, this one's amazing. Or even, I switch back and forth between the 2. I use this one in the summertime, and then I use this one in the wintertime. So that's definitely an option too, especially if you do the smaller sizes. This one is going to be, it's called Time Setter now, but it used to be called 10 Years Younger setting spray. So a lot of people that are worried about foundation settling into fine lines use this one. I know as you start to get wrinkles, or if you have wrinkles, a lot of people's biggest concern is their foundation settling into their skin. And I totally get that. So this one, first of all, it's going to make your makeup last 16 hours or up to 16 hours. But it's also going to keep your makeup from settling into fine lines. So that's another option as well. Anyway, so if you guys have any questions about our foundation, or if you need me to help you get a different color or anything, let me know. But hopefully that gives you guys some tips on how to apply it. So anyways, hope you guys love it. I hope you have a great day. Bye.